Okay, it's recording. All right. Hey, y'all. It look kind of dark over there.
If you slide close, it might be better.
I
Or
am
like,
chocolate.
maybe. I don't know.
It don't matter. As
Cool.
long as they hear me. Okay, and I'm going to get this. I'm not going to have this phone in my hand. But I am about to put it on
I'm looking at the
audio.
wrong camera.
Yeah, this the one we're going to do. How does it look, T?
Grand.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's get started. So, you ready? You cool?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Peace, love, and light, family. It's your girl, Morgan Renee Myers. Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk About It. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Jordan Jones. Hey, Jordan.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm amazing. Hold on, let's do it over because I asked you how you do it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's start it over. Oh, thank you. And I wanted to do the intro different anyway. Okay.
All right, cool.
Peace, love, and light, family. Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk About It. I'm your host, Morgan Renee Myers, and today I have a special guest with me, Mr. Jordan Jones. How you doing, Jordan?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you for asking. So before we get into the topic of today, let's learn a little bit about you, okay? So where are you from?
I'm originally from Durham. Now I reside in Greensboro, though.
Okay, Durham, North Carolina. All right, all right. Now, what school did you go to?
High school or college?
Both, yeah.
Oh, well, I went to Hillside. Sorry, I had to throw that in.
Oh, okay, Hillside. I know some people went
big
there.
Hornet Pride person.
Okay, Hornet Pride.
Yeah, and I also went to UNCG.
Okay, Spartan Pride. Hey, that's how we met. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
What was your major?
I got a degree in music education.
Music education. Wow. So, are you working in that field now?
Yes,
Okay.
I currently teach elementary school general music.
Was that the idea you had in mind when you majored for that?
Not at all, actually.
What'd you want to do?
Well, not. I still wanted to teach music, but originally when I got the degree, I was thinking I was going to be this all-time high school band director with marching band every Friday night.
Yeah, that's dope.
Marching band competitions and parades, but I'm cool that didn't work out.
Okay. Would you still try to do something like that?
I'm headed in a different direction now.
Okay.
Now, actually, I mean, in my life, yeah, but just not right now.
Got you. So, what are some of your career goals then?
Right now, I'm pursuing a full-time job as a producer, music producer, and recording artist, singer-songwriter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, all of it, as much as I can.
Now, I heard you're a part of some music group. Talk to us about that.
We have, excuse me, I have a group called Permanent Inc.
Okay.
We're based here out of Greensboro. It's me, my friend John, and Trell. We all met at UNCG.
Spartan Pride.
Yeah, it just kind of came together. One day we were just playing around with some music. I had made this little beat, and I left it over at John and Trell's house. They were roommates at the time. And next thing I know, John had recorded this verse, and then it was like, that was pretty dope. Like, it was like, maybe we should just try something. And originally, we were just wanted to make a project and put something out just to be like, we did it.
Right.
And off of that project, we got performances, we got on the radio.
Wow.
We ended up, a lot of interviews, all sorts of things came from it. So then it was like, okay, let's continue, taking steps with this. And so now we've already had 2 projects out, working on part 2 of that second project now.
Wow, that's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Y'all know I love local artistry, local music. These guys are amazing. So we'll have their information at the end of this video so you can follow them and check them out for sure. But let's get into the meat of the thing. Let's talk about it, okay? So my first question is, what was your family dynamic like? Like, how did you grow up? Did you have single parent home or married parents, or what did that look like?
I grew up in a 2-parent home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Were they married? Your parents?
Yeah, my parents are
Oh,
married.
wow. Are they still married?
They're still married.
How long? How many years?
They got married in 87.
Ooh,
So,
okay. And it's 2018 now, so you do the math.
31? Yeah, 31
I'm
years.
not going to tell you.
Oh.
So do you have any siblings?
I do. I have 2 sisters. I have an older sister and a younger sister.
Okay, so talk to us about what that's like growing up with 2 sisters.
I've always told people having an older sister taught me how to respect women. Because I had a bossy older sister.
She bossy.
Yeah. And then having a younger sister taught me how to protect and care for women. Because I had to protect her and take care of her. I didn't have to do that so much for my older sister. She did a lot of taking care of me, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Did you notice? Did your relationship change like the older y'all got? Like, what's the age difference between y'all?
My older sister and I are 2.5 years apart.
Okay.
My younger sister and I are 7 years
okay.
apart.
Okay.
Yeah, growing up, my older sister and I couldn't stand each other.
Okay. That's how it
Everything
starts
was
out.
an argument. But when we got to high school, that's when our relationship changed. And then once I moved to Greensboro, it really, we became more friends. My younger sister, she was my shadow growing up, and then once she got to college, that's when she kind of transitioned to like my best friend.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, okay, best friend.
Yeah.
So you say you're a music educator now?
Yes.
Okay, so what grade levels do you teach?
I currently teach kindergarten through 5th grade.
Oh,
so
wow. So you get the whole.
I get the whole school.
Okay. What's that like?
A lot.
Do they pay attention? Do they listen? Are they engaged? Or are they just hoorah?
I mean, my kids are very into the arts overall. I mean, it's a magnet school, so the
Okay.
arts is a big deal in my school, and my kids are performers.
Okay. That's
I
always
mean,
nice.
Yeah, they're not very shy.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
So you enjoy it for the most part.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Do you get to plan like what you teach, or they
Yes.
give you a curriculum? Oh,
I
wow.
choose everything.
So
yeah.
what kind of stuff you focus on in the music class?
I like to give them as much of a realistic experience as possible in terms of music, so I don't necessarily follow the curriculum guidelines like textbook stuff.
Okay.
Which is not actually textbook and music. When it comes to music, it's pretty good actually. It's not bad, but I give them. So I showed you that video. My students actually, we recorded a song. They wrote the song. They rapped everything in the classroom, and then they made a music video. So we put a full-on production on. That way, they've had that experiences. I also teach my students about performance etiquette and like audience etiquette. And
That's important.
I do a lot of expressive music making in my classroom, and whether that's lyrically or them just creating their own arrangements of music and compositions.
I think that's really cool to have them engaged and like do what they like instead of just
Yeah.
do this and sing this.
Yeah.
Because they don't be here for it. So, do you have any children?
I don't have any children. I consider my students my children.
Okay.
That's about as good as it's gonna get.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Do you plan on having any? You think you want some?
I know
Okay.
I'm gonna have kids.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, I got to.
You got a goal in mind, like a limit you gonna stop at, or you just gonna buzz them out? See what happens.
Depends on what my wife says when I get there. Like,
because her body, her choice, right?
Right. Whenever I find her, like, she'll let me know. Like, all right, this is enough. Because until then, I'll be like.
Now, this wasn't in the notes, but if you find a lady and she already like got kids, or she just don't want them, like, would that be a deal breaker for you? Like, you have to have kids with your lady?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't get married to her if she doesn't want to have kids. Yeah.
Well, all
to
right.
be honest.
They're clear from Jordan if you're not trying to have any babies. Okay. All right. So, not having children, but being an educator, do you still feel qualified to give your opinion on some parenting skills?
Yes, I do.
But you don't have kids, so people that don't have kids don't have a say in what parents do, right?
Of course. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't know everything.
Right.
That's the thing. So, if I am giving any type of parent advice, I do offer it from a partial parent standpoint.
Okay.
Because
we are with your child most of the day.
Honestly, I spend more time with a lot of my students than their own parents do. Because I mean, you're at school for 8 hours a day, and unlike other music teachers, I actually spend my time is split up half in my classroom teaching. The other half I actually spend in their homeroom classrooms, like teaching them reading and math or helping them with homework.
But you're the music teacher. Why are you doing all that?
That's just the way my school is set up.
Okay.
Most other schools, like the music teacher only does music, but at my school, all the magnet specialist teacher, we spend half the time in our classroom, and it gives us extra time. It's just extra help.
Okay, that's nice.
And assistance.
It's necessary. I used to work in the school system, and the special teachers just did their special, so that's pretty cool. So, what are some? You say you feel like you can give your opinion. What are some examples of behaviors you see that maybe you would talk to a parent about in regards to their child?
For the main thing, that the biggest issue that I see in my school, I have so many kids that are lacking love.
What?
And that's why they are so needy. I mean, like it's irritating as a teacher.
Wow. What does lacking love look like?
They want your attention every 5 seconds, and they're so desperate they will do anything for your attention. So if that means looking at you in the face and flipping a chair over, or flicking you off, or whatever, they'll do whatever it takes to get your attention because they're lacking in that area so much.
Oh my goodness. Y'all need to love y'all children. Y'all created them, love them. This reminds me of a quote. One of my good friends, Alontra Lewis, she's a teacher as well in the Durham area. And she said the same exact thing, that sometimes it's so difficult to be able to teach because you got to give them love first. So you got to get past that barrier and then wait for them to concentrate on the lesson. So, wow, who knew love is that deep?
Approach everything with love, because I have students that literally will tell you, I don't know how to choose. Like I ask, like, do you know how to make the right choice? No.
Wow.
Yeah, straight up and down, they don't know, and nobody, has the patience and shows them that kind of love. So, yeah, it's kind of saddening sometimes, but yeah.
So, are there some students that reside in single parent homes? And let me clarify single parent home. Just because you're a single person, you and the partner aren't together anymore, we hope to create this child, doesn't make you a single parent if they're active in the child's life. So if they're, still contributing, being a parent, you're just a single mom or a single dad. I mean, you're just a single person. Like, you're not, So is it obvious, or do you know some because they've told you up front?
I would not say it's obvious all the time, mostly because it's just so widespread in my school. I feel like if my students were the rarity, then it probably would be. Actually, at my old school, I taught at a very different population of students. Yeah, those students actually was much more noticeable.
Okay. What kind of demographic of students do you teach?
Right now, it's about 95% black.
Oh, wow.
Somewhere in there. A lot mix of Hispanic and maybe about 2% white.
Wow.
Barely. Yeah. My old school before that though was like 95% white.
Oh.
5%.
Big
shift. Yeah. But overall, I even have students that don't have either parent in their lives.
So like grandmas or guardians or foster homes.
I have lots of those that are adopted or in grandparents' care, auntie, uncle, cousin, whoever. And they're generally the ones that'll run up and be like, "Can you be my dad?"
Oh wow, they flat out ask you that?
Yeah.
How do you respond to something like that?
You just politely tell them no. I'm sorry, I can't. I try.
No, sir, I can't be your dad.
I gotta keep it real with them, because if you don't, they'll take it too far.
Right.
They will take it too far, and so you gotta.
Daddy Jones.
And they'll do that. I'll walk into them. That's my daddy. No, I'm not. I'm not your father. No, don't do that.
Well, okay, so do you feel like teachers have to be role models or parent figures sometimes?
Yes, absolutely. And that's across the board. That's not just to my type of students. No, that's across the board.
Wow.
Yes, very much so. I had teachers that were very parent-like for me, because I believe it takes a village.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have other people that aren't necessarily your biological parents, but play that role in your life, and you treat them as such too. You even might give them that nickname like Pop or or Grandma or whatever. Nana.
Yeah. But they not your parent. Okay. Yeah. So is there any noticeable difference in how kids with both parents that are active in their life or in the home versus kids who only have like one active parent, or that stay with a grandma or guardian or something like that? Is it a noticeable difference?
From school to school, within my school it's kind of hard to tell, like I said. But from school to school, yes.
Okay.
There's
what signs show that somebody has two parents in a home versus somebody who doesn't?
Mostly discipline.
Oh.
Mostly. That's the off gate one. There's also lots of different other reasons or ways you could tell, but I would definitely say discipline is generally the first one, because like young men, I've noticed at my school in particular, if their father is in and out, or if the father is not present at all, they're 6 years old thinking, I'm a man. And they will challenge you as if you two are the same size. I have little boys that would get in my face and tell me that they will hit me or that they will take me down. And it's like, do you not realize I'm like 3 times your size? And
it don't matter.
No, you're not going to win this.
He's asserting his masculinity.
Wow. And so they, they don't understand it, because sometimes mom doesn't have the patience or can't really lay down, a hard foot the way she's supposed to. Or if she does, she has to go too hard. Yeah. And she pushes the young man in the other direction.
I've seen that firsthand,
Or vice versa, you get these young men that just don't respond to women well. And a lot of female teachers are in my school, and so they act crazy until they get that male, and all of a sudden they're like shook.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
wow, that's really real. Are there any mannerisms this is for girls and boys. So are there any mannerisms with fatherless young girls or young boys that stick out? And it's a two-part question. So how do they interact, these young girls and these young men that don't have fathers in their lives? How do they interact with the peers, the other students? And then how do they interact with the teachers, you specifically, male teachers?
Right. Well, for one, my kids are extremely attached to me.
Wow.
Sometimes it's almost scary. I just not a day that goes by I don't get asked, can I come home with you, or like,
Wow.
will you be my dad? All those types of questions, and
Wow.
yeah, like, cause they'll repeat these questions.
Yeah. Oh wow. So like all
Yeah.
throughout the year, you might get the same child asking, "Can you be my dad?" Can I
Yeah.
So in your mind, does that make you think that like something's going on at home, and maybe you need to get DSS involved, or you just kind of at the end of the day gotta take off your teacher hat and it is what it is?
I hear stuff every day that makes me want to call DSS,
Wow.
but or I mean Child Protective Service, but
Mhm.
something like that, no,
Mhm.
because it could just be an absence, a void,
Mm.
and the child knows that there's that void, and they're trying to find a way to fill it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that something is wrong at home, because the mother could be a great mother. He's just missing masculine influence.
Okay.
He's wanting that feeling of. I remember being a young man.
Mhm.
Even at the elementary school age, you desired for other men that looked like you to approve of you,
Okay.
especially older men.
Mm.
And getting motherly love and mother attention, because I mean, women are just like, oh, he's so cute anyway. They're always, especially when
worry
you're
about
that
your
small.
safety.
The kids, you're gonna get that motherly attention. It's just something about a woman taking care of a child. But when it comes to a young man, like you looking for that, like you're constantly looking for that male approval. From
Wow.
older people. Yeah.
So like with you said your dad wasn't a home, because there's some people that have two parent homes and it's like some of the parents they not really active, they there but you ain't learning nothing. So with your dad, like what are some of the things you got from him that helped you for who you are now?
For one, my father was definitely always my he kept my ego in check.
Okay.
Maybe too much at times.
What's that mean?
Anytime somebody came boosting up my head, he
Dang.
put your head down, keep working. That's kind of how his, if I scored 14 points in a basketball game, my dad would be like, well, why didn't you have so many rebounds? Why didn't you have...
Well, dang, Dad.
Right. The other person's like, man, you had a great game.
Yeah.
Like, you got in there and did your thing. Nah, my dad's like, yeah, he could have had more rebounds, though. So it's just like,
sheesh.
Come on, like... But
that helped you? Like now you kind of slack off with that? If you do good, you just do good, or you always push yourself?
I would definitely say it definitely teaches you not to get too excited or comfortable with once you get success, because it's like I feel like as a kid, like it was irritating, but honestly what he was doing was just trying to make sure that I didn't feel like I had arrived.
Right.
Because once you feel like you've arrived, you're done.
Okay.
And you don't ever really arrive. There's always another step to keep moving, because the other thing was it's not the competition of everybody else, it's the competition of myself. So that's what he was trying to instill, and maybe he could have done it a different way, but I still got the lessons. So.
Right. Okay, that's beautiful. So do you think that a single woman or a family of women can successfully raise children without the need of masculine or male presence? Like I don't need a man, I don't want a man, or he just happened to not be here and I can raise this child up.
I'm gonna take your question a little bit. I'm gonna say without the need of a presence within the home, I would say absolutely yes. I do think there are lots of women, especially a house full of women, that can raise children, because if those women are smart, they'll look for the type of man they want to influence that child, and they'll have them in either in that man's enrichment program. He'll have him as a mentor, even if it's just a neighbor.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, go work with Mr. So and so. Okay. You're gonna learn how to cut grass, because I can't teach you.
Right.
Go hang with him.
Okay.
And then he comes back to the house and gets that nurture from the rest of the women in the house. So I definitely think a house full of women can raise a child if they're smart about it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But those that just I don't need one, I don't want one, and then because what I'm finding is, and why we're having this interview and these series of interviews is I'm really focused on communication and relationships, and so I think a lot of the times people get together, they hook up, have sex, have kids, and then sometimes they're not able to provide them love, or they realize we're not really compatible, so they're not around, and so some women, based on their past hurts or whatever, just get to a point where they're like, I don't need men, I don't want men, I'm sick of them, I don't want to deal with them. So they may not be wise in the men they're bringing around. They just bring somebody around for a good time or to help pay a bill. So what about women like that? Do you think they can still successfully raise a child?
I think yes, but the child is going to be lacking something at some point. There's still going to be. I still definitely think it's very possible. I've dated girls who's come from that environment, and I would say that they were successfully raised or raised well. I should say.
Yeah.
So I do think it is possible. Yes.
Okay.
But I mean, you're playing with fire.
Oof.
So it's like you're taking a chance. It's just like it's possible. We can definitely make it work, but
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So last question. Okay. Do you have? Well, it's not a question. Do you have any word of advice to teachers, parents, or the listeners in general, just based on your experience as a man, as a teacher, and everything we talked about?
Like where I'm at in life right now is just spread love. Like I mean, that's just what I'm noticing in my observations of the world, and a lot of the problems that we have right now is just stemming from hate, and it's all based on greed, and it's a systematic greed, and it's very, very concrete, and it's very strong. But at the end of the day, love can conquer. It's just it can't be a little bit. It's gotta be everything and everybody, and that's the only way.
So does everybody deserve unconditional love, or everything? Somebody hurt you or do you wrong, or you got to pay your bills and somebody interrupt you from doing that, you just got to love people? Like, how do you love people when you doing things that are hurting me?
I think everybody deserves to be treated like a human.
Okay.
I think that is a certain level of love. It's not necessarily like you're my sister love, or you're my brother love, but I mean, we are the human race.
Wow, like human to human.
Yeah, it's just like you're another human. I know you have feelings and emotions too. I got problems, you got problems.
Yeah,
I cry, you cry. I dream,
we
you
cry
dream.
together.
Yeah, so, yeah, I think there's a certain level of love that comes with treating people as a human.
Wow. Well, I love you, Jordan, and I thank you so much for being a part of this series with me. And you be blessed and continue to do all your endeavors and spreading love. Yeah. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in, too. Appreciate y'all. Peace. Thanks, Jordan. That was awesome. Okay, now I'm going to do my, you get out the way real quick. I'm going to do my sponsor. Okay. Where's my hat? So. Peace. Hold on now. Peace, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to my episode of Let's Talk About It featuring Mr. Jordan Jones.